This video is about Mrs. Yoko Murakami, Haruki Murakami's wife. First, let's start with how Haruki Murakami and his wife got to know each other. Haruki Murakami says the following. She sat next to me in my first class. We were at Waseda University. We had different majors, but we were in the same class. She was not very knowledgeable and asked me a lot of questions. I taught her as much as I knew. In the process, we became close friends. But it didn't lead to marriage right away. I had a girl I was dating and she had a lot going on, so it took us a few years to get together. During that time, we were both doing what we liked, and then we started dating. He also writes as follows. In my class at Waseda University, I became close friends with only 2 people, both of whom are quite nice women, one of whom is now my wife. They seem to be such a close couple that they walk hand in hand even at their age. Haruki Murakami once asked his wife why she decided to marry him. I was curious, so I asked my wife again why she decided to marry me. She answered as follows. Your letters were very well written. There was nothing inflected in your personality. It seems that the kind of person who becomes a novelist is so good at writing that he makes the other person decide to marry him. How is it for Haruki Murakami? In my case, I thought, this is the only woman for me, and I married her. I was still young and didn't know much about the world, so maybe that's why I suddenly felt that way. But I felt that way, so it couldn't be helped, could it? When asked by a reader about his criteria for marriage, he responded as follows. The essential requirement is that I feel that I would never be bored if I were with this person. No matter how wonderful a person is, no matter how many conditions he or she has, if you feel bored, the relationship will not last. This is just my personal view, of course. By the way, they were married at the age of 22, and it was a student marriage. Therefore, they decided to stay at Yoko's parents' house. After a while, they decided that they could not stay there any longer, so they left Yoko's parents' house and opened a jazz cafe. It was after that he graduated from university. That is quite a unique career, isn't it? Yoko Murakami's occupation is as a photographer. Many readers think that Yoko may be the model for Midori in Norwegian Wood, since they started dating when they were in college. Haruki Murakami has said the following about this. I am sure there are many people who overlap with her. But they are totally different. Of course there are some similarities. However, they are totally different. My wife and Midori are a little similar in the way they talk. But they have different looks and different ways of thinking. She says they are different, too, and I don't intend to write this book in her image. The people around her know that she and Midori are different. But people who don't know her might think otherwise. Well, she seems to be annoyed too. Haruki Murakami does not have any children. Once, when he received an email from a reader saying that he could not have children because he was not confident enough to raise them, he responded as follows. I think it is natural to think about whether one is qualified to raise a child. I have thought about it a lot. As a result, or perhaps not only as a result, we have no children. Instead, I have written many novels. Each person has his or her own life. Haruki Murakami first reads each work he writes to Yoko and asks her what she thinks of it. One of the works that he rewrote extensively based on Yoko's opinion is The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Yoko read the first draft and said, I think there are too many elements included in one book. She advised him to make it a little cleaner. In response, Haruki Murakami removed some of the elements and combined them into a separate novel named South of the Border, West of the Sun. How is it? Haruki Murakami and his wife Yoko seem to be an ideal couple.